Join us for Country in the Park 2 this Saturday at Heart Health Park. More at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by A&A Concrete Supply, Folsom Hotel, and Corval, California, Champaign.
A new Honda? Nice. Well, it was like this. It was a super hot day, so we all stopped for some ice cream. When bam, the AC went out. My dad started sweating and was all, man, I stink. And my brother was like, I hate this car. And my mom was all, I'm dying in here. Then I said, it's time to call Stockton Honda. Then Dad was like, honey, you're right. I knew you were my favorite. And just like that, Stockton Honda to the rescue. StocktonHonda.com.
She used to meet me on the side.
Khalid, live in concert. See him performing at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. Get tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the sensational Khalid for one night only at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 5th. For more, visit KhalidOfficial.com.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
At aimyourdigital.com will help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Pros, now's your chance to save big during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save big on appliances like the GE Stainless Steel Kitchen Suite. Plus, save $40 on 5-gallon pails of Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, and Valspar Stain. Shop Pro Savings Days today for big savings on everything you need to get the job done right. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 9/27 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two have geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. Chad, what's happening for Jeep Adventure Days?
Right now, save up to $12,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs, starting as low as $28,715. These are some of the most fun cars you'll ever drive, and there's just a handful left, so don't wait and miss your chance.
Any other big deals?
Save money and gas when you save up to $17,000 off MSRP on all remaining new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs, which get up to 56 MPGE.
Don't miss this savings. See their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period.
12,000 total net savings after 3420 factory rebates and 8580 dealer discount. Rebates may include 500 trade-in assistance. Must have qualifying trade-in. 17,000 total net savings after 4250 factory rebates and 12,750 dealer discount. Rebates include 3750 federal EV tax credit offered by third parties subject to change without notice. Consult a tax professional for eligibility. 5H net savings. See dealer for details.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
It's a short show Thursday, and we've got, as you know, a lot going on. We got Sac State news today. Sac State announcing they have the funding for the new football stadium. Jay has some thoughts on what conference Sac State's likely to end up in. Jay's been doing some poking.
Oh, he's been doing some
he says he got some sources here. I don't know.
Jay got sources. Okay.
Yes.
City of Trees guy got some sources over here.
The commissioner of the City of Trees has been talking to his sources. So we've got that for you. We'll talk to Jay Ross, bottom of the hour. Jason Ross was at the press conference today. We've got Thursday Night Football, of course. We take you up to Thursday Night Football with the Cowboys taking on the Giants. And we got the A's playing what appears to be their final game in Oakland. The chance will if everything comes together for us, we may get you to the very end of that game as well. So on the show, depending on the timing and a lot of things. But I got to tell you, Drapes, it got to me a little bit today just watching on TV and seeing Dave Stewart and Ricky Henderson throw out the ceremonial first pitches. Because I'd been kind of above the fray, like, yeah, this is really sad. This is really sad. But more intellectually. And then today watching is like, oh, it hit me.
You know what, man? I'll be honest with you. I've been ripping and running today. You know when it hit me? Just now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm watching the game right here, thinking about Smoke, Dave Stewart, friend of show, friend of ours, Ricky Henderson, the fans. I'm driving through Sacramento, and I see Oakland A's jerseys. People are wearing it. And then I think about all the history, too, that stadium has seen, that organization has been through so many great players and great memories. And so, yeah, it's hitting me now. And I feel for, Oakland A's fans. I feel for the city of Oakland. This is a sad day. We talked yesterday and I was like, maybe it could be sort of a celebration. Nah, it's hard to, celebrate. At the end of the day, it's a sad day in Oakland right now.
Because you see all the people there and you look at the history, and on some level, it's hard not to come face to face with the fact that it shouldn't be this way. I mean, I know they're coming here and that's exciting, but why in the world is that team leaving? How did this happen? And of course it's worse, as much as fans, we're sad about it. It's worse for the people that work at the stadium. Some of them, that's their job. And they just found out this week, sorry. Yeah. The union's not going to help you out there, but they're going to see if they have any other jobs for you. So, I mean, obviously it's worse for them.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Move your monitor there so the people at home can see you, so they can get a good.
We're on this camera here.
Yeah. Get a good view of you.
Thank you.
And, and you know what's upsetting about this, Whitey, too, is I could see if there wasn't support from the fan base. This is all self-inflicted wounds by John Fisher and Oakland A's ownership. You tear down the product, and then when you're not supported for a new stadium, you wonder why. Well, if you invested in the product, if you invested money, you would have got maybe a new stadium. This is a self-inflicted wound, and I wonder how much of it was by design.
When
rip it down.
He and Lou Wolf bought the team, and then we never saw John Fisher. It was all Lou Wolf. Lou Wolf was out in front of everything, and Lou Wolf was Bud Selig's buddy. And they talked when they owned the team, first bought the team, about how they wanted to move the A's to San Jose. And they worked on that for years. And Bud Selig said, we have a blue ribbon panel that's working on this. And it never happened, large part because the Giants said, that's our territory. We're not going to let you happen. And they negotiated or whatever. And the Giants said, nope. So I wonder if John Fisher ever really wanted to be in Oakland in the first place. I can remember around 2014 or so, the Giants would be, the Giants were red hot then. They were in the midst of winning 3 and 5, 3 World Series 5 years. They'd be home on a Monday night to a team like the Mets or the Cubs or somebody. And the A's would be home on the same night against some sorry team like the Astros. And I remember looking at the schedule going, no one's going to the A's game. Why are they doing that? And maybe that's why they didn't want people going to the games, because they were trying to drive down attendance. But have you ever been at what they call backstage at Disneyland? On a media thing?
No, I have not. No,
because I was there once on some media event, and so we went backstage, and that's where you're out in the park, then you go through a door, and then that's where all the characters Mickey Mouse takes his head off, stuff like that, because they're hot. And I'll never forget this. Like, wow, there's Mickey. It's just a guy in a Mickey Mouse costume. Of course it is. But my point is, sports are entertainment too, and we like to imagine they're more than they are. Right? They're fun. They're games. It's entertainment. It's escapism. Then when you see something like this happen, it's like you see Mickey Mouse take his head off. It's like, it's not what we think. It's a business. And we know that, but we don't want to think about it. And then something like this happens, they practically grab you by the collar and shake you and say, it ain't what you think. It's not as much fun as you think. You don't matter as much as you think you do in the grand scheme of baseball.
Right. You have this idealistic view of sports, this sort of
and people make money off that.
Yeah, exactly. You sell a dream and But what's upsetting too, Whitey, as I'm listening to you talk and, things are just popping into my head, watching the game and everything. You said sports are supposed to be an escape. Where do the people of Oakland now turn to? Their last team there, last major professional Big Four team, where do they turn to for that escape now?
Right.
Do they come up to Sacramento? Do they go to San Francisco? Are they priced out? Like, it's more than just the loss of a team. It's a loss of a culture in that city and a place for, like you just said, for those fans, those people. Think about this. You got a young family in Oakland, got young kids. Hey, kids, let's go out to an Oakland A's game. That's a family environment, something you could do. Now that's being removed. Where do they turn to now? From a sports athletic standpoint, who do they support now? I feel for him today, man. I feel for him big time.
That's a great point you raised, especially given, again, that the ceremony of first pitches today were thrown out by Dave Stewart and Ricky Henderson, two guys from Oakland.
Yes.
Two guys from Oakland.
Jay, can we get High Flyer on today?
Sure.
Yeah, we got to get High Flyer too, right? He's an Oakland guy, right?
Yeah.
I would love to hear, what he thinks about this. Because to your point, man, and Jay knows this, and Whitey, you know this as well, and this is something I've learned in my, few years here in Northern California. Once you're a part of Oakland's fabric, you carry that wherever you go. You may not live in Oakland anymore, but you're proud to say you're from Oakland. We've had High Flyer on. We've had Gary Payton on. We've had people from Oakland on, Bip Roberts on. And the one thing they talk about is the pride they have in their city. And so on this day, I admit I'm an outsider. And I feel it. What does it for a guy like High Flyer who grew up with the Oakland A's? Dave Stewart, we saw get emotional.
He was, wasn't
right.
he? Yeah.
He
Ricky was Ricky, and Ricky's like, yeah, we're good. It's too bad.
Yeah.
But Stu, you could tell, it's like, man, it really touched him.
I mean, and think about it too, Whitey. What year did they come? What, 69, 68? I mean, there's generations that have known the A's as Oakland A's. And now that's just going to be wiped out. It's not fair, man. It's a bad day for Major League Baseball. And I would wonder, has Rob Manfred said anything or made any statements today or anything? Because, this is on his watch. And for him to let this go. And remember, we talked about Sacramento and the possibility the Kings would move to Seattle. Well, on David Stern's watch, that wasn't going to happen, Where's Rob Manfred in all of this?
Right.
He's complicit in this. He's letting this happen, and this will be a black mark on his legacy.
That's the one thing the Oakland A's never had in this. They never had anybody inside baseball going, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Right.
Whereas the Kings did have an ally or two.
Yeah.
And with Mayor Johnson, he was close with the commissioner. They found an ally there. You just touched on another key point here when you asked what are fans supposed to do? And that takes me back to, was it last summer? Maybe it was earlier this summer, when the commissioner again said, well, they can go to Giants games. Just so tone deaf and not realizing, okay, that's not what you say to these people. I think, again, it's just crystal clear that A's ownership and MLB had no idea what they were dealing with. They really underestimated A's fans. They thought, we'll drive down the product. They'll stay away. We'll move. No one will care. No one will notice. Wrong.
Right.
And they still don't get it, as evidenced by statements like that from the commissioner. Oh, they can go to Giants games.
Dude, are you telling Mets fans, let's say the Mets leave, they can just go to Yankees games. The Yankees are right there.
I know.
So tone deaf. And to me, that devalues the passion of that fan base. It's taking them for granted. There are tons, and you know this too. Why do you mention this on the show? Let's say the Oakland A's may not have the biggest fan base, but they probably have one of the most loyal, like the most passionate. Like Oakland A's fans are, it's not like some of these other franchises out there, not to diss the Marlins or something, but they don't have that long history that Oakland has.
Yeah.
When you look at, the uniforms, the Coliseum, the people that have come through, there's a huge connection, a passionate connection with those players in that environment that Major League Baseball is just throwing away right now.
No, you're right. Eric Burns said that, and I think he said it on this station years ago. He said, when he was on the A's, he said, we don't have as many fans as some teams, but our fans are as good as any fans in baseball. And the A's, City of Oakland to a degree, and MLB have not made it easy on those fans to support their team.
Yeah.
But they have anyway.
They've been done wrong. The fan base has been done wrong by the city, by John Fisher, of course, by Major League Baseball. And here's the thing that upsets me, Whitey. We're at this point, yes, but this all could have been avoided. Like I said earlier, was this John Fisher's master plan, like you brought up? Was it to go to San Jose, not to be in Oakland, and now he's getting his wish? It doesn't seem right that this guy is being rewarded, and at the end of the day, he's getting what he wants.
And, yeah, it's a business. I get it, but the A's, one of the reasons they're not staying in Oakland is because the Giants didn't want them there.
Yeah.
And I get that, but, you go back to when the A's forfeit the San Jose territory in the first place. That's when the Giants were going to leave. And Walter Haas, who owned the A's, said, you know what? It's better for the area if we have two teams. So we're going to cede that territory to the Giants. If it'll help them stay, and then everyone's happy. Can you imagine?
Conversely, though.
Yeah,
no.
right. Yeah, people like that these days, like, sucker, right?
Right.
It's just not generally done that way anymore.
Yeah, it's like, we negotiate in good faith. We want what's best for the region. Now that you got the upper hand, it's like, nope, sayonara.
Right.
We want you out of here.
Right.
It's greedy. It's and it's all about money. We know that, and I understand the Giants' ownership. Their loyalty is to themselves, but sometimes, money becomes second, right? Shouldn't it? What about what's great for the region? What about what's great for the city of Oakland? And I just feel like the Giants, Major League, like they're just turning a blind eye to him, just like leaving like thieves in the night. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I was never an A's season ticket holder, but we went to a lot of games, and it's funny because talking with Alan today, and he was asking, what memories do you have there? And I hadn't really thought about it. I'm not going to bore you with them, but I just realized, man, I have a lot of memories there, like so many fans that have spent a lot of time there. And as you said, it's family time.
Yeah.
And it's generational.
Right.
And my mom's teaching me how to keep score.
Right.
And me at just last season, teaching my daughter at that same ballpark. This is how you keep score. Times that by, almost infinity. And that's why there's so much pain right now. And yeah, it's exciting that they're coming here, but it's really two separate things. We can be excited that the A's are coming here at the same time. I think we have to mourn what is being lost today.
No, 100%. And I hope they go out with the win. They're leading 3-2 right now in the bottom of the sixth. And I think we're going to have the final inning being played right here on Sactown Sports 1140. I'm interested to see how the broadcasters handle that. Hopefully it's an A's win today, up 3-2 here in the bottom of the sixth.
Yeah. How do you think fans are going to react? What's your best guess? Nobody knows.
Fans at the game?
What's going to be the reaction when it ends? I think it's going to be
standing ovation.
Standing ovation, and I don't think the fans are going to leave for a long time. I don't think there's going to be the violence.
Right. No, I don't. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if one or two people.
Some of those people have been there a long time. Did you see the news today?
No, what?
They were lined up to get into the stadium. They normally don't open until 8 a.m. They were lined up. They had to let them in at 7. Wow. There's so many cars lined up to get in.
Wow.
At 7 in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, I could see a couple of knuckleheads trying to, run on the field or do something. But you're right. There will be a lot of fans that don't want to leave, that are just hanging out, just loitering around in a good way, soaking up the memories of the final game. But as I watch this, and I watched the crowd that packed in there today and for this final series, Whitey, I wonder, how come John Fisher couldn't see the vision? Invest in the team and they will come. It's like that the fans, this was a great home field environment.
Yeah.
It used to be a great, but because of poor ownership and poor management, he sort of ripped it down. And this is case in point. They packed out today.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put a good product there, you can have these kind of results.
Yeah. People may find this hard to believe, but in the mid 80s, the A's had some things going on. They were just starting to take off. The Giants were struggling in Candlestick. The Giants' attendance was dreary. The Giants announced, Bob Lurie, the owner of the Giants, said, well, we're going to take a year off from Candlestick and build a new stadium. While we're building it, we're going to play in Oakland. The Giants said they were going to play in the Oakland Collesium. And actually, the mayor of Oakland said, no, you're not.
No,
it never happened. But that's how different it was.
Right.
There was a time when the A's were the kings.
Yeah.
Right, Jay? And I did, yeah. The A's were the kings of Bay Area baseball.
Absolutely.
California baseball.
We let these dudes get rent-free situation, kept them in the Bay Area, and then you know how it goes, fellas. You ask for a favor in return. Nah, we're good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
how are you doing today, Jay?
Yeah.
With all this. I know you're busy. You've been working.
I'm good. It's kind of one of those things, fellas, when you know what's coming, you can handle it a little better, right? Compared to something when you don't know what's coming. And so I've been prepared for this. Sunday was kind of my goodbye. And, you just allow everybody else to have their goodbyes. I do appreciate everybody showing up today. That's looking real good. The crowd is super thick. Like an old Sunday newspaper. So I'm real happy to see the A's fans, the faithful, come out, rock the green and gold. I've been trying to pay attention to the Dallas Bradens, the Dave Stewarts, just a lot of the older Oakland Athletic fans. Right. I saw Jose Canseco even in his sarcastic comedy talk about what he would do to play one more game. Oakland ballers, you should be on the phone.
Right.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things, fellas. And, we all have to say goodbye to something in our life. Right. And for me, when I know it's coming, I personally, speaking for myself, handle it a lot better than being surprised and kind of be sucker punched in the gut, not knowing.
I saw somebody on Twitter saying this was hours before the game. There's music. There's people eating, having a good time in the parking lot. Whoever it was said, that's how I'm going to remember this place. That's a pretty good way to look at it.
Right? Yeah.
Travis, how many opportunities did you get down to the Coliseum?
Only
Just
one,
once?
man. Only once. Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, only once. And then me and the kids went, family went, met some friends down there, but this was, I'll keep it real, fellas. This wasn't the real Coliseum. You know what I mean? This was in the last year or so when, it's 3,000 fans there, when, the parking is very ample. I never got a chance to feel the real soul and environment of the Oakland A's fan base.
You can't really blame Oakland for wanting to keep the Raiders there, but Mount Davis destroyed that place. And I get it. It's like, what are you going to do? But that was a really pretty park. And it's outdated either way now, but it's ugly now.
So what, Mount Davis covered up the view
there
of
was
it?
Bleachers, and then you could see the Oakland Hills.
Yeah,
they had an ice plant behind the fence.
Ooh,
it was
beautiful.
Very scenic. Yeah. It was very,
beautiful. The grass, crispy green.
A lot of warm days in Oakland, too.
Oh, yeah.
There was times when it's like just night and day compared to, Candlestick Park.
San Fran.
Kind of like, was that I remember I felt like it was a windmill of some sorts out there that would spin when you would hit a home run, a sign / windmill. But it's as they say, it's bittersweet. It's interesting. It's something that I think we all knew was coming to a certain instance. And even, because there's not the greatest news on the back end, maybe if we were celebrating another move to, an arena, a stadium at Jack London or down the street or whatever. And I'm kind of choosing to see that right now. It's like, I would rather this team stay settle somewhere in Northern California. And as much as it's not Oakland and we're talking about the city of Oakland, I'm also looking at the bright side of if this thing can stay here in Northern California. And Whitey, I think you continue to keep on saying, this fight's not over. Right, fellas, it's not over.
Right.
It's gonna be let's have this conversation if and when they move to Vegas. Now, to me, that'd be a different conversation.
I just happened to Google search today, Major League Baseball expansion, because we saw some about Portland Diamond Project. They just bought some land near the water.
Land.
So Portland's doing that. Dale Murphy, the former center fielder, great player, he's involved in Utah's efforts to get baseball. And he's talking about Salt Lake City baseball. I think it was on our sister station there, how they're getting close. You also have Austin, Texas, in the mix. They're talking about how they're ready to make a push. So there's a lot of cities that are ready to make a push for what? Baseball says 2 new teams. You got Nashville in there as well. So I can understand how Sacramento feels like anything that might give us any kind of advantage, we're going to have to do if we're going to have a shot in this thing.
Yeah, I would imagine, having the A's here might be their best chance opportunity because, the feasibility of a ballpark, and I know everybody said, the rail yards people have mentioned, true, but then who would be ownership of the team. There's certain people that own the rail yards area. Are they a part of ownership? Yes or no? And so I think, to your point, Whitey, the city of Sacramento and the region's best chance is keeping these guys right here, having Vegas fall through, which, you still holding out hope. What is it, 20% that it might fall through, 40%? What's your gut,
that
feeling?
It's going to fall through?
Yeah.
70. Right, Jay?
Yeah, I was going to shoot high, Drapes. I ain't going to lie.
You're not just being optimist, just.
Drapes, think about it, though, big fella. Think about it, to use your terminology. This guy, and I said this yesterday, I can't remember, or maybe a couple of days. This guy bought this team in 05, excuse me. Eric Chavez was the last contract.
Right.
At $66 million in 04. It's 20 years later. Now let me ask you guys. Drapes, you talk about, can some announcers get money?
Oh, what a grab.
Who was that?
Oh. Sorry about that. No, I'm just
spectacular.
Who's that there? I didn't see who it was either.
And they're showing the fans, not the player here.
Yeah.
But 20 years of inflation, and John Fisher still has yet to invest. Yeah. I don't want to say invest $1 because he had to. It was almost kind of pushed to, some of these research purposes.
Blade.
Yeah. But I mean, what else has he invested $1 in?
Yeah, right.
Besides the things that he's been made to invest $1.
Let me ask you though, Jay, because my thinking is he's going to turn over a new leaf. Do you guys not think that? Once he gets to Vegas, all of a sudden, he's going to invest in this shiny new product.
Are we being honest here?
No, yeah, of course. That's what we do.
Because, there's people that will tell you, well, look at what's going on with the earthquakes.
Yeah.
And I don't follow him that closely, but there's a lot of people say it's the same thing with the San Jose earthquakes.
Yeah. Former MLS champs.
They're not well funded.
Right.
So
bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
It's the.
I hope you're right.
Almost like a slumlord, if you will.
Yes, absolutely.
Damn.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to, Jay, do you know if we're going to be able to get the last?
Yeah. We're good to have the last inning. I got the go ahead.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. All right. And we're in the 7th inning now. So we've got that ahead for you. Short show today. Coming up next, Jason Ross. As you know, there's so much going on with Sac State. Potential new football stadium. The latest on that with Jay Ross next. Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast for this Thursday. A little warmer than yesterday. Highs in the upper 80s to low 90s with overnight lows in the 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you got to see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Who's ready for some fun on Saturday? Country in the Park 2 takes over Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Dirks Bentley, Farmally, Sasha, plus line dancing and a mechanical bull, axe throwing, pop-up clothing stores, and food trucks. Tickets start as low as $52 at CITPfest.com. Grab your family and join us for Country in the Park 2 this Saturday at Heart Health Park. More at CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by A&A Concrete Supply, Folsom Hotel, and Corbell, California Champaign.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable, available where fuel additives are sold.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to SacLegalDefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Drapes, you're one of the king of endorsements. You're one of the kings of endorsements. Can you get a chiropractic endorsement of some kind for our next guest? Because he's been carrying that morning show on his back.
Man.
Yeah. Jay Ross joining us. He has been carrying that morning show on his back for, I don't know, 2-3 decades now. Jay Ross, how are you?
Something like that.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
Good,
man. You got to get like free therapy or something like that, having to work with Dave every morning. Like, seriously, like, you know, it got to be mentally taxing and draining every morning with that guy.
I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, somehow out of that brain came up, and it comes from his mind. What animal would you least want to have in a courtroom?
He said that?
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, as a lawyer, as defending, and then it somehow went, and I'm like, well, let's play. And I'm like, I don't think I want a hippo in there. And then it's just like, what? Where does that come from? Yeah.
I missed doing the crossover where I could jot all those things down and then share them at the end of the week.
And that scared him. It did, don't you think?
Yeah, it did scare him a little bit.
Things that Dave said. And
Yeah.
Have the
Yeah.
notes,
Oh,
yes.
my God. How are you feeling about this acing? I know we want to talk about Sac State, but how are you feeling about this deal with They're coming here? They're leaving Oakland.
Yeah, it just stinks for the fans. I mean, it's really for the fans. I know you guys were talking about Drapes. You said you'd only been there once. Whether you've been there once, 100 times, or never went. I mean, this is, and I know over the years people move, and like the A's were in Philadelphia and Atlanta, different, Sacramento. Look, we know they've been in Kansas City, Rochester, but like really in our lifetimes, not a lot of teams have moved, and it stinks. I hate it.
Yeah.
And look at what it looks like today. It's so awesome. And I've seen people interviewed. It's like a cross between a funeral and a celebration. It's weird. Just a weird day.
Yeah. I know some people were hoping they would take the tarps off the upper deck.
They probably could have.
But I saw somewhere, one of the reasons they couldn't do that, they have all kinds of stuff stored up there in the concourse, just stuff from years.
Old bobbleheads.
Yes. I think literally things like that. And animals have gotten in there and they're like, we just can't do it. So
before we get to Sac State, I got a friend. She's down there, her and her family. I asked her what the vibe was. She says, it's crazy here. I love it, but I'm super sad. People are cool. It feels like playoff baseball. Lots of sell the team chants. Then get this, fellas. Get this. She goes on to say, they did the fans dirty, though, doing the giveaway starting the 7th inning outside the park with no reentry.
Yeah, you have to leave.
Come on.
Yeah, and that doesn't look like it's that great of a Coliseum replica.
You're not anyway. You don't need an ashtray?
Well, I might.
Yeah, you're right.
Dirty,
right? Because they're trying to get everybody out. Everybody out.
I thought the giveaway would be on the concourse or something like that, but outside?
Or just give it to everybody as
they
leave.
come in or as they leave. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Here you go.
Wow.
John Fisher.
Yeah. Well, we know you're busy today. You're at the big press conference at which Sac State, do I have this right? They announced they have funding for a new football stadium?
Correct.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it's very exciting. The president, athletic director Mark Orr was there too, and really a lot of school representation. This has been in the works for a little while, but they didn't announce everything because there's still more layers to come. But it sure sounds like, guys, they are going to have a brand new stadium, which then also helps them in future ideas that have been out there, like the Sac-12 we know about, Mountain West, are these things that are possible? Well, it becomes more possible with facility upgrades. So worst case scenario, they've got a nice new stadium that eventually, and they'll be in the big sky, but maybe grander things are on the horizon.
Yeah, this reminds me of what happened in Louisville. Louisville used to be part of the Metro 8, I think it was, and then they went to Conference USA. They built a new stadium. At the time, it was only 42,000, but to me, this just signals the first step for Sac State. You start at 25. It's a horseshoe. So you got, room for extra more seats as you expand. So there's room for growth here. Do you view it that way too?
Absolutely. And it depends on where that ultimately goes. And we're also in such a unique time in college football. Like I would have never envisioned this before, but now teams are joining different conferences across the country. So it's a unique time. You have to have the facility. So this is that part. And, they talked about other things. They will have concerts there. In a 25,000 seat outdoor stadium is something that's not really here now.
Right.
And so they don't need to go to Oakland to have this big, huge, Levi's now, I guess, to have this big, huge stadium show. But you need some of those intermediate ones that are outdoor. So they can do that. Obviously, themselves, they have the most students they've ever had, and they've raised tuition a little bit too. So that's going to help pay for it. They didn't announce this today, but you got to believe it's in line, naming rights. And,
that's
the Drive Guys stadium. Sorry.
Whitey's salary, they can do it. They can do it on his salary.
Yeah. But that's a big number that'll go out there that obviously they would need that too. So these are all things that they'll finally ultimately get to when they have the renderings and all that stuff.
I wanted to ask you about all the flux with the conferences. And this may sound like a negative. I don't mean it that way. Obviously, what's going on at Sac State is great. But, you talk about Sac State moving to the Pac-12. Don't you guys think, the Pac-12, as we think of it, it doesn't actually exist anymore, right? There is a kind of a Pac-12 coming back together, but the Pac-12, there's almost no such thing.
Yeah, it's not Oregon.
Yeah,
UCLA, SC, Washington. But here's the advantage I say Sac State has, and this would maybe be the one of the few in their positive column. There's more things going against them trying to move up. But the one that they have, let's say Pac-12, which I think is a big dream.
Right.
It would be next to Colorado State, which is now coming to the Pac-12, the second biggest market. So that's the chance. We know TV dollars move things. Now, what TV network wants this version of the Pac-12? I don't know the answer to that.
Right.
Someone would. It's not the draw what the Big Ten is now, the SEC. So that's, I think, the biggest carrot they have. They're California. They're in Sacramento. It's a huge television market. Now, the negatives are still currently FCS. They've got facility issues. This helps today with that news. And what a lot of them will still say, and all this talk is great, you have to be invited to the party.
Yeah.
And so I would assume the Pac-12 might be interested and the Mountain West might be, but you need to get invited to the party.
Is it a win-win for Sac State, whether it's Pac-12 or Mountain West? We'll take either one of those.
I think they would. I mean, and the other one, I would say even today's news is a win-win-win. Like if those don't even happen, they at least got a new stadium too, and they're really good at their level. They made the playoffs 4 years in a row. This is maybe a question I would ask you guys. So as someone that's probably too close to it and has done this so long, like we've all been conditioned and try to train people how good Montana State is. And when they come in, that's a big deal. So if they go to the Mountain West and Wyoming's coming in and New Mexico's coming in, I mean, is there zip to that to you guys besides the obvious of moving up? But
there is a difference between the Pac-12 and, even if it's Washington State versus, there is a difference. Boise,
Fresno,
that's
San Diego State. Like, see some rivalries there.
Right.
And no offense to the Mountain West, if they go, I mean, you got to go for it.
Yeah.
But I just wonder the difference of what kind of zip that is to the community.
Yeah. How long have you been play-by-play for Sac State football?
It's the 28th year of a 27th season. We missed COVID in 2020.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
How about that?
Right. You're a young pup back then.
Why is it, J. Ross, that they just announced, was it last week? I think they just announced, this is our plan. This is Sac-12 plan to, become eligible to move up to a bigger conference. And then here we are. Wow. A week later, boom, they've got the funding. Was it further along than we knew when they announced it, or how did they make it happen so quickly?
Yeah, they were almost two separate entities, though they worked together. The Sac-12, to my knowledge, literally just did form, I think, in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The stadium stuff has been worked on for a while. So, and if some are giving credit to the Sac-12 for making this happen, that's fine. But it's been in the works for quite a while. And I think, and maybe, and I don't know this from the school's perspective, but it's like, hey, there's a little bit of momentum. Let's keep our name out there. This is a great day to do it. And even if everything's not announced, it's like, hey, we're kind of in the forefront of a lot of people's minds right now.
You raised a great point about, if Wyoming comes here versus Washington State. I sort of view it as, sort of the A's coming to Sacramento. We're excited to have the A's here, but a lot of talk is, can you imagine Aaron Judge here?
Right.
That kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. So how imperative, I guess, do you think it is that Sac State goes to the Pac-12 for the support from the community, or will it be there with some of these other teams?
I think it will be there anyway. I just wonder what the difference might be. And then the other part is, doing this long enough too, there's always going to be the super high school players here that are so good that Nick Saban was recruiting and SC, and like they're gone. But there were plenty of people that went to Colorado State and Air Force and Boise and Wyoming. You're like, why is that better? Like if you're a great player, Cameron Scadaboo was at Sacramento State. A local guy was really good, goes to Arizona State. But if he wanted to go pro, they would find him at Sac State. And I think if you're at that level and you're I think of Eric Armstead who played here, Shaq Thompson, Ontario Smith, some of the greatest high school players ever now may go, I'm doing it here. I went to games here as a kid. I want to be a legend in Sacramento. That's something that you hope that can build with recruiting. And now in this day of NIL, they have to be in that game too if they move up.
J. Ross, what's the state of the football program right now in terms of how much they've improved with attendance and just the prestige and reputation over the last 5 to 10 years?
The reputation is just a complete turn because I've done probably more 2-9, 1-10, 3-8 years than what's the last 4.
A lot of people thought it was your fault.
And I have a lot of losses on my record, for sure. But they have completely turned it around. And now they're now, I forget the stat I use every week and I should remember it. I think since 1993, when they moved up to FCS, they had been in the top 25 7 times. Right now, they've been in the top 25 43 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Damn.
So, they've just turned it around. And so the season hadn't even started, they're top 10. There's just a reputation. They made the playoffs 4 years in a row. They lose their first 2. They went to 11 because they played up twice and nobody really.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a good team. Now they've won their last 2. They start conference play this week.
Is that just it starts snowballing and it's easier to recruit? Or
yeah, and I think it's a little bit like automatically you guys, if we were voting, Alabama's in. I don't even know who's on their roster. They're in the top 25. Just put them there, and then they lost their first 3 games. All right, maybe they're 20th, but until they have a terrible year. And
they still get that respect.
Yeah, so they've turned their reputation around, making the playoffs 4 times, winning 3 Big Sky championships. It's one of the better FCS divisions. So they've turned it. They've completely turned it around. In attendance, you asked about that, Whitey. It's just been better every year. 2 Causeways ago, and they'll host the Causeway this year, was school record, I think about 23,000 with Davis there. Davis is good too. That's the other wrinkle, guys, that nobody's talking about that I don't know the answer to. The partnership with Davis is a good thing. And I don't know if Sac State were to move up. I personally would like them to as well, because now you have to kind of keep your rival. And if they're a rival and they're below you, that's a tough game for Sac State, because if you lose, I mean, you have nothing to gain.
That hammers you.
And Davis, of course, wants to beat you. And this happened before when Davis was D2 and Sac State had already moved up, and Davis would win that game a lot. So I personally would like them to be together if that's even an option, and I don't even know if that's being talked about.
Lastly, for me, how does this impact the other sports, basketball, going forward? Do you see growth there in those other sports?
Yeah, that's the other part. Like, football is getting a lot of the attention, but if you're going up and you're changing conference, you got to upgrade all facilities. Now, they're already D1 in basketball, so they're tournament eligible, but it'd just be a different conference potentially if they move. And maybe that travel-wise, budget-wise, I don't know exactly how that would help, but I think it could, with some of these being a little bit. Well, the Big Sky is still kind of the West Coast anyway, so there may be an advantage there, but all the programs would change if they in fact moved conferences.
So, J-Ross, along those lines, what's next? Do we even know? And as far as any kind of timetable, do we have any idea what we're looking at? How long before Sac State would know whether a conference is interested in them? How long it would be before they moved up? Do we have any idea about any of that?
On the conferences, I have no idea, because it's like all of a sudden, I was at Sac State, at Fresno State a couple of weekends ago, and I think it was a Saturday, talking to all the people there. Nobody said anything. Sunday, boom. Fresno State has moved to the Pac-12. Went, what? Nobody said anything about that. So I think a lot of this stuff is shifts in the night.
A lot of moving parts.
Utah State agreed to join the Pac-12. Wait, when did? How?
Right.
And so I think it could go fast, but I also don't know what other benchmarks Sacramento State would have to check. This certainly helps, but it's also not done. I know it's going to happen in the stadium, but is that they say they want to do it as fast as possible, but is that 2030? Is that 2026? Is that, I mean, we all know about construction and those things. They all seem to take longer than you want, but they want it as soon as possible.
Okay. All right. You wouldn't want to stick around and talk Kings, would you? You probably have stuff you got to do.
I'm actually.
You going to the
Kings?
Yeah.
Going
to that?
You gotta run. You want me to live stream from there?
Yeah, you should, right? Yeah, please do.
Oh, we've taken up enough of your time, but you might want to be listening, because Jay says he has some information on which conference Sac State is likely to navigate towards here.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, the inside.
And I don't want to be a homer, but Kings 77-5.
Damn, that's not a homer. That's being realistic right there.
77-5. If I was a homer, I would have said 79-3.
Thank you, Jay Ross.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
We've got more on Sac State, what conference they may end up in next on Sactown Sports.
You've seen him on the roast of Tom Brady, and you've heard him host the #1 podcast in the world, Kill Tony. Now see Tony Hinchcliffe perform stand-up comedy live at the Venue at Thunder Valley, Friday, October 11th. The man behind millions of views worldwide and countless sold-out shows brings his stand-up set to you. Tony Hinchcliffe. Critics call him a must-see. Don't miss this stand-up comedian, writer, podcast host, and professional wordsmith live in Sacramento. Tony Hinchcliffe. Get tickets at ThunderValleyResort.com.
Silverado savings spectacular now at Maida Chevy with $13,000 off MSRP. Every new Silverado half-ton LTZ in stock after rebates. $12,500 off every Silverado half-ton High Country after rebate. And $11,000 off all new Silverado half-ton RSTs exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Whatever Silverado you choose, you'll save thousands at Maida Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. Ends 9/30/24.
Pros, now's your chance to save big during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save big on appliances like the GE Stainless Steel Kitchen Suite. Plus, save $40 on 5-gallon pails of Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, and Valspar Stain. Shop Pro Savings Days today for big savings on everything you need to get the job done right. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 9/27 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Who's ready for some fun on Saturday? Country in the Park 2 takes over Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Dirk Bentley, Harmony, Sasha, plus line dancing and a mechanical bull, axe throwing, pop-up clothing stores, and food food trucks. Tickets start as low as $52 at CITPFest.com. Grab your family and join us for Country in the Park 2 this Saturday at Heart Health Park. More at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by A&A Concrete Supply, Folsom Hotel, and Corval, California Champaign.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Ram Power Days?
Well, 2024 is almost over, so we figured we'd get a head start with big savings on brand new 2025 Ram 1500s. Right now, you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the brand new and very nicely updated 2025 Ram 1500s, starting as low as $37,780.
I want to make sure I heard you right. You said 2025, as in next year's models, and you're already giving $15,000 off?
You heard that right. Plus, with all the upgrades Ram has made on the 1500s, this is the best Ram yet.
Test drive the best Ram truck yet at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. See our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. 15,000 total net savings after 10,500 factory rebates and 4,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 in Hoblet Select inventory coupons and 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistant coupons. Must have qualifying trade-in. At least 5 of this net savings. Coupons only available while supplies last. See dealer for details.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Sponsored by Xfinity Internet. Enjoy ultimate control of your home network. Personalize your Wi-Fi name and password. Assign user profiles, view and control connected devices, and more with the Xfinity Internet app.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
So we got the A's leading the Rangers 3-2, going to the bottom of the 8th. And Mason Miller just came in the game with 2 outs in the 8th. So Mark Kotze and the A's obviously want to win this game, looking for a 4-out save from Mason Miller. But we will take you to the 9th inning. Once we get to the 9th inning, we'll take you to the broadcast here on Sactown Sports, what could be the last inning for A's baseball in Oakland ever before they make their way north.
Yeah, watching the broadcast now. They're doing a great job on NBC Sports California, capturing the history, showing great moments. Ricky Henderson, I believe, with the stolen base record, they were just showing. And so, they're doing it the right way. And you could tell, man, you just see it out there. The energy, the vibe. We don't have the sound on, but we can see it and feel it right here.
I saw something really interesting today before the game, and I don't think this is the first time they've aired it, so people may have seen it already, but All Access, A's All Access, I think it was, and it was Dave Stewart, and he was interviewing Dennis Eckersley. And Stu was kind of struggling with the question a little bit because clearly he kind of didn't want to talk about, Kirk Gibson in the home run. So Stu's like to Dennis Eckersley, what are the things you remember, the most about your time here? And Dennis Eckersley went right to that. And he went right to that. He said, it was like a miracle. And Stu was like, I wasn't going to bring that up, but you went there. But, and he said, I had 2 strikes, and the guy could not run. He could barely walk. And he said, I got stupid, and I threw a breaking ball. But he said, still, it's like, how did that happen?
How did he get that one? Yeah. Probably the one pitch that still, if I could have that pitch back,
Yeah. But then he said, 89, he got, there's a ground ball to the right side, and he made the last put out for that
World Series.
Bay Bridge World Series win. Yeah. I know that was terrible with the earthquake, but Northern California fans, we're lucky we got, one of those World Series between those 2 teams.
No doubt. No doubt.
As terrible as everything was around that. Yeah. So we'll take you to the 9th inning of that. Like I say, we're in the bottom of the 8th right now. The A's leading the Rangers 3-2. Jay, you have some information for us. Jay's doing a lot of things today, so I know you're You're
Jay ain't doing nothing back there.
Oh, he's
Man,
talking.
I'm sitting there working the phone.
Oh, okay.
I got my Kyle Draper on. I'm at NBC Sports California.
You're doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm
out
at
there.
the Classic. I'm hosting the Drive Guys. I'm a parent. Yeah, absolutely.
I understand you have some information on Sac State and what conference they may end up in.
Yeah, I've been working the phones, fellas, and the great part about this when you have the opportunity to work with people around the world, you start to have connections. And over the last couple of weeks, I've really been trying to tap the phones and see how serious the Sac State stuff is and if this is real. And so I know as of today, and I'll just say sources, a lot of people close, and not just one, not two, not three. And it's funny, and that's why I had Jay Ross on, is because I wanted to, kind of triple check and double check some of this stuff that I was getting. And a lot of people, and I'll just say this for one of my, and follow me here, 2 or 3 sources, and this is what I heard from 2 or 3 of these guys, and they all said this same thing. And I said, I asked these guys, how serious is Sac State in moving up? Mountain West versus Pac-12 versus any conference. You name it, moving up to a FBS is if this is any truth to it. And these are the 3 things that I caught from every single person. Sac State is firmly in the sights of the Mountain West Conference. Dang. Firmly. Okay. 2-3 people are willing to say that the Mountain West Conference has their eyes on Sac State.
Okay, yeah, the way you phrase that is interesting because it's not so much Sac State trying to appeal to the Mountain West. It's the Mountain West
being
interested
in
Sac State.
Second thing is Sac State is a top 2 replacement for California schools to rival San Jose State. And I took that as this. Right now, the Mountain West only has one California school. That'll be San Jose State. Mm-hmm. One person told me Sac State fits the bill for California school because a couple things. It's close to Hawaii. It keeps the travel budget down for Hawaii, which we know is a big problem.
Right. Yeah.
The market, which is what Jay Ross just talked about, and the success of any other school rivaling in California. Now, one of the other schools that was thrown out to me by a source was San Diego, University of San Diego. But the downfall to San Diego, it's a private school. It's Stanford. It's tough to get people in there.
She's a University of San Diego.
University of San Diego.
Yeah.
Not San Diego State, right. USD. And I'm glad you brought San Diego State up because San Diego State is in the mode of taking over that market. They've got the new Snapdragon, right? The new arena stadium. They also have now moved to the Pac-12, which means they're going to have way more money than the Mountain West. We're talking about a difference of probably 20 to 40, $50 million. Right now, a Mountain West Conference team, television rights, you get 10 to 15 million a year, plus about a $1.3 to $2 million endowment to each school, where Pac-12 is probably going to operate anything between 20 and 40 million, hopefully within the next deal. And then the last thing I thought was super interesting that I heard from a couple of these people is this. And I asked Jay Ross this, and he can't speak on it because, of course, he's part of Sac State, and he just doesn't know. But I got this from 2 of many people that I talked to. The Mountain West Conference is interested in Sac State up to the point that they're willing to invest in Sac State. And so when you really start to move around the Ducks, fellas, and you hear the president of Sac State today, and we can play some of the sound that he had today, and you hear Jason Ross where they said they've already had this in the motion, right? And we know Sac State has talked about this in 2004, 5.
There's some of your funding right there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So remember, the Mountain West Conference is going to get upwards of $150 million from the Pac-12 from stealing those 4 teams. On top of that, they're also in the mode of giving each team, as I said, $10 to $15 million in endowment. Now we're getting closer to that $50 million that we've seen the Sac-12 put out. And if the president has already said they pretty much got $25 million already, and then you start to do the math, there's that other $30 million. So, as I've said, if you shoot high and you land low, we can all hope for Pac-12.
Right.
Mountain West looks good, and it is affordable. It is feasible. And that's what I keep hearing from sources, from a lot of people within out this week. And again, talking to 2 or 3 big name sources, that are tied to college football that everybody pays attention to. Today was like, Sac State has a grasp that if they can get their ducks in a row, they have an opportunity to really push up and move towards the Mountain West.
Yeah, and if you get to the Mountain West, and the nature of college athletics, fellas, you guys know this, then other things can open up in the future.
Easy.
Like once you get to that FBS level, then others conferences start looking at you like, I liken it to Louisville, Conference USA, to the Big East, then Big East to the ACC. And so, this isn't the end all be all. If the Pac-12 doesn't happen, doesn't mean, bigger things aren't on the horizon down the road.
Do you think, Drapes, Jay's one of those guys like, hey, need some info on Sac State? The source is like, I can't help you. You think Jay's like, maybe George Washington will lose.
He's sliding a little something across the table there. No, Jay's like the Godfather. All he got to do is ask once. He gets it.
Well, you know how it goes, fellas. Drapes, how many times have you picked up the phone and someone's asking you about an injury for the Kings?
Right.
What the Kings are coming into town. Drapes, give me a quick breakdown, right?
You scratch my back.
Yes.
Yes. All right, we're keeping an eye on the A's. We want to take you to the
we got the 9th coming up.
We have the 9th coming up. All right, we're going to take you, Jay. We're going to take you to A's baseball. The 9th inning in Oakland. Next, Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to
motionless on the hill, the infield to pull, the outfield the other way. And now the 0-1 pitch. Mason turns, here it is, swung on, foul back. 102 on the fastball. As we said the other night, he's been able to maintain his velocity all season. 103 in the All-Star game. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Low weights, and Miller turns. Here it is, and it's outside. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the count 1-2. And now ready to turn, and here it is. And a breaking ball is taken outside, and 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leody Taveras is on deck. Many of the fans are standing. 46,889 today. And here's the pitch. And that's swung on and missed. Down he goes. Fastball away at 103. Here you go. Try to hit it.
It's always been the way Mason has looked upon this role. He knows he's going to get beat sometimes. He has with some long balls, but he is all about the challenge and all about if he has to tip his cap, he will. Most of the time, he hasn't.
And that really is like a shoehorn attendance because no empty seats, no tickets unsold. Taveras takes a strike on the outside corner 0-1. 3-2 A's, 1 out, nobody on. Top half of the 9th inning. Miller at the belt, the kick, the righty throws, and it's taken outside. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. Much of the summer spent on the IL last year with the elbow issues for Mason Miller. Man, as he bounced back. 1-1. Ready, Langolier sets up outside. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. 102. You think there might be some adrenaline pumping right now? The A's fans hoping for one final celebration. And now the 1-2 pitch, here it is. Incredible show of passion, not just today, but over this entire homestand. This being the 6th game.
There have been a lot of ways
passion and love
have closed games. Raleigh and Eck and Jason Isringham's, but not like this.
Right.
This velocity.
2-2 with one out. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Now we've got people running on the field. Well, at least one person. And just what we don't need. Somebody just threw a water bottle out. This is the last thing, and as this game was building to a crescendo here with Miller on the mound. You know, and let's face it, 99.9% of the people today have been great.
They have. But unfortunately, it forces us to pause on more than one occasion here.
The count's 3-2. The Rangers are batting in the ninth inning. The A's are clinging to a 3-2 lead. The Leody Taveras, who has great speed, is the batter for Texas. All the security folks are out.
Now they're going to
We'll get
stay
back
out.
to playing here in just a couple of seconds.
Now they're going to stay out on the field probably a little bit sooner than what they had hoped for, but circumstances forced this decision.
I think the plate umpire, Paul Clemens, just kind of holding things up just for a couple more seconds, and now something else has been thrown down the left field line. And we hope against hope that that's it. Now Mason, and he's going to just take a little walk for himself, and no doubt trying to keep his composure and keep his concentration. So 3-2. And it's back behind the hill, and Taveras out of the batter's box to the right side. Now we're ready to go. And the 3-2 pitch with one out will be on the way. And Mason Miller to the plate, and it's swung on and missed. 101.5, back-to-back strikeouts, 2 away. And that'll bring up Travis Jankowski. Here's the pitch by Mason, and swung on, lifted left side, foul out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Now the 0-1 pitch, ready to turn. Here it is. Swung on, hit foul, straight back. 0-2. A's 3, Rangers 2. We'll have another stoppage of play here. No balls and 2 strikes. Security people doing a great job. The stuff being thrown out on the field. And now, ready to go. The 0-2 with 2 out in the ninth. A's lead 3-2. And here's the pitch, and it's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blade shaded well over toward left center. Butler shaded toward right center. Brown and left shaded toward the line. And now the 1-2 pitch. Miller ready, turns on the way, swung on, foul back, came inside on his hands. 103.8. I mean, that's 104 basically right there. Trying to finish it off with the A's leading by 1. Another smoke bomb out and right. Gates open, security guard doing his job, and And they'll close the gate. Now the 1-2 pitch. Here it is by Mason. And he turns, he's ready, he throws in, it's swung on and hit to third. He was left up with it. Schumann, he turns, he throws, and the A's have won it. Mason Miller slams the door on the Rangers as the curtain comes down on 57 incredible years of A's baseball at the Coliseum. It's over. It is over after 57 years of thrills, of heartbreak, but always a sense of community, of fans belonging to something bigger, something special. It was baseball. It was Oakland A's baseball that brought so many people together. There's, of course, a profound sense of loss, of hurt, and yet the memories hopefully will last forever. May those memories be a blessing.
And you hear it in the background, the song that started in the 80s when they would win games, Celebration by Kool and the Gang, and it still rings loud, and it's great to hear on this final game here at the Coliseum. And this particular group of players that wear the Oakland uniform, wear it proudly, and it's been a great finish to what's been a lot of memories here at the Coliseum.
3-2 was the final, by the way. Want to make sure we get that in and cover some of the fundamentals here, but what a joy it's been all these years. And, you know, when you do what we do for a living, you want your fans to care. In the romantic sense of what we do as broadcasters, Vince, you want that emotion. You want that emotional tie to your franchise. You want that sense of caring. And we saw it throughout this entire homestand. A's players have come out on the baseline at the third base side, waving their hats. Yeah, maybe there were just a handful of people that kind of tried to ruin things, especially in the ninth inning, but 99.99% of the people here were just great. Mark Kotze.
It hit me last night. I know it's been hitting us, all of us, at different times. For me, it was after the game last night. I walked into this stadium, my amazing wife dragged me down to this field, and we took it all in. I'm going to keep this short. I don't really know how we're going to make it do this. To the staff who've dedicated their lives to the Oakland A's, especially those who are coming with us. I am forever grateful. I will never forget you. And to all of you, on behalf of my staff, myself, this team, all the past players and coaches, everyone who's worn the green and gold. There are no better fans than you guys. Thank you all for loving baseball. Thank you for your lifelong support of the Oakland A's. And last, I want to thank you guys for coming out to share this moment with the club that I'm so proud of. We've played our asses off this year. We still got 3 left. I think we all should pay homage to this amazing stadium that we've had the privilege and pleasure of enjoying for 57 years. And I ask you for one more time to start the greatest year in baseball. Let's go, Oakland!
What a job Mark Kotze has done, Vince, representing this team, meeting with the media and all the time that he's spent with huge throngs of media who've come from all over the country and representing the team. And he's the spokesman. So many of the questions have not been baseball related. And he's handled it with professionalism, with aplomb, and just striking the right tone, as you just heard, as he addressed the crowd. And A's fans, I think, really appreciating that the players were out there, and during the Let's Go Oakland, they were clapping their hands along with all the fans here. And right now, the A's players moving out to the pitcher's mound. There must be 30 or 40 photographers out there to chronicle all of that. And like we said, you want that emotion, you want that passion. And we certainly saw that, all of that, and then some on display today and throughout this homestand.
You know, when Mark Kotze was put in an impossible situation. It's tough enough to be a major league manager and have to deal with everything that's involved with just putting a team on the field and getting players to play for you and having the dynamic be the right dynamic inside your clubhouse, and then for him to answer other questions that have nothing to do with balls and strikes or taking pitchers out of games or who's tomorrow's starting pitcher. And the way that he handled it, such grace, such professionalism, just speaks to his character. We both know he's pretty stoic, right? He doesn't talk. He does what he's supposed to do, and he tells stories, and there will be a smile. But Mark Kotze was a hard-nosed player, and what he just showed and demonstrated what it means in that clubhouse.
Yeah, no question. And I think it really started. He wasn't sure how he was going to feel 3 or 4 days ago. I think all that became crystallized last night after the game when he came out with his wife. And
yeah, kudos to Jamie.
Yeah, exactly, Jamie. Kind of urging him on. And very few people have left the stadium. And
you don't want it to end. Yeah. And they know it has to end, but they made the most of this final few moments on the field. They'll never play on it again. You know, they will not come back to this stadium, to this great surface, to this foul territory. The marine layer is gone.
Yeah.
So the way that he just handled that was incredible.
It's hard to process that it's gone.
Yeah.
It's really hard. For you, 19 years. For me, 29. It's going to take some time. Not sure we'll ever fully process it. This was the Athletics' 2,492nd win at the Coliseum, by the way. Winning percentage of .555 out here. Only one team in all the years who have played the A's, and many of those years, of course, in the American League now with interleague play. Only one team against the A's here has a winning record, and that's the Astros, and they're, of course, new to the American League, and they're like 55-54 here, and that's it. The A's have had a winning record against everybody else in baseball over 57 years, and the fans have been a big part of it. I think the foul territory is all the quirkiness and the sun, and the difference in the game today was the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how the A's scored their third run.
One last time, something we've had a chance to enjoy for a long time, but people that don't know what Oakland A's baseball is all about, because this was such a unique circumstance, and this franchise was ending their tenure here in Oakland, that it gave a national audience to see this. To see this last week of baseball, Marine Layer and Sun Today and ball not carrying and the foul territory that you mentioned, low scoring, tight games that has been the mantra of this place since April of 1968. And it makes you proud, because these people have been here. I mean, they've done it. Days, weeks, months, years, decades of supporting this franchise and having their favorite moments and their favorite players. Yeah. And a chance for that to be shown once again, coast to coast, under difficult circumstances. I'm very thankful and very proud that we've been a part of it.
People don't want to leave. We don't blame them. And baseball, I think, more than any other sport, is passed down through the generations. And you think of fathers and sons and daughters and mothers and grandparents and great-grandparents and friends who have shared this experience for all these years. And so many of those people at the ballpark today that won't have the chance to have this again. And, it was so important to Mark, the constant, that the A's played a good ball game, which it seems kind of hollow to say that in the general context of what's happened. But it was a good win for the A's, and that's also part of the memory as well today.
Absolutely. And, it's done here. And opening day 2006.
And we're going to catch a flight, head up to Seattle, and the A's and the Mariners will play tomorrow night.
I think I need my sunglasses.
Thank you, Vinny. Robert Costa in the studio, Mike Barrett here at the ballpark. The A's win it by the count of 3-2. We say goodbye to 57 years of baseball. And as we do so today, we close with a see you.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Hey, get ready. Here comes your Sactown Sports live events calendar. You don't want to miss Winona Judd at Hard Rock Live on September 28th. And on October 4th, comedy legend Rob Schneider is bringing the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Space out with Weezer for the Voyage to the Blue Planet Tour 2024 at the Golden One Center on October 8th. And looking further ahead into October, Alec Benjamin brings his soulful vibes to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on the 16th. Then on October 17th, catch the hilarious Ronnie Chang at the Bob Hope Memorial Theater in Stockton. On October 20th, Renee Vaca brings his hilarious stand-up to the Crest Theater in Sacramento. And finally, gear up for the ultimate Halloween bash with a $5,000 costume contest. It's Sinners and Saints Saturday at Thunder Valley on October 26th. Costumes, music, and plenty of thrills. Get all the event details at SactownSports.com and stay locked on to Sactown Sports for your chance to win tickets.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports, 1140.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast for this Thursday. A little warmer than yesterday. Highs in the upper 80s to low 90s with overnight lows in the 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models. Low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Who's ready for some fun on Saturday? Country in the Park 2 takes over Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Dirk Bentley. Harmony. Plus line dancing and a mechanical bull, axe throwing, pop-up clothing stores, and food trucks. Tickets start as low as $52 at CITPfest.com. Grab your family and join us for Country in the Park 2 this Saturday at Heart Health Park. More at CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by A&A Concrete Supply, Folsom Hotel, and Corval, California Champaign.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let our professional parts people test your battery for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Making an Impact, sponsored by Grainger. Students attend Girls State to join in an exercise in democracy. This participant was glad to be part of it.
Left or right, just participate in democracy. There'd be a lot more representation of women. It would help more people get up and exercise their voice.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers professional-grade supplies and solutions made for every industry and backed by product experts. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and 0 down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Here it is by Mason. He turns, he's ready, he throws, and it's swung on and hit to third. He was left up with it. Schumann, he turns, he throws, and the A's have won it. Mason Miller slams the door on the Rangers as the curtain comes down on 57 incredible years of A's baseball at the Coliseum.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, thanks for being with us. Through a few programming irregularities, we just wanted to bring you the last inning, and we had to make some adjustments because of that. And I want to credit Jay, because as far as I know, it was Jay's idea. Jay in a text yesterday, hey, we should air the last inning. I hadn't thought of that. It was a great idea. Thank you, Jay. And it's so eerily similar as the A's just wrapped up what looks like their last game in Oakland. It's so similar to what we had here 13 years ago when we thought the Kings were leaving. Of course, they never did, but we thought that was that last game there. And it's similar right down to the broadcasters in tears Bip Roberts, not just a friend of the show, but a friend, the great Bip Roberts on the post game could not speak. Brody Brazil asked him, what do you got? And Bip he had his Kleenex over his eyes and he just could not speak. So it's incredibly sad. And then that song that Jay just played, they played that at the Coliseum. They played, Cool in the Gang Celebration, which the A's used to play whenever they won a game. And then they played that Tower of Power. So very hard to go. It's like, so very emotional. I'll tell you this, a good thing, MLB Network, we have both channels on it here. MLB Network did pick it up. So a lot of what we saw with Mark Kotsay talking to the fans and then the fans chanting, the nation saw that, at least those watching MLB Network. So I give whoever made that decision some credit. I can't imagine MLB was in a big hurry to show all of that.
Right.
But somebody there at the switch had to say, we got to put this on. It was incredible, Trapes.
Yeah, it was a beautiful scene out there. Mark Kotsay making the speech. You heard it right here on Sactown Sports 1140. Just seeing the atmosphere, the environment, the fans and the emotion on their eyes. I don't know if you saw Max Schumann, had the A's flag running, back and forth in the outfield. And it was just a scene. And one thing that I saw on TV that struck with me is, as you see the fans just still there.
Yeah.
I saw a father and son, and the son is like laying in the father's lap, basically. And they just look lost. They look forgotten. It's like they can't believe it's come to this. And I think go back to something you said as well. Like, how did it get to this point? Like, this is a proud franchise with a proud fan base, a long history. The fan base was not turning the back on the franchise. The fan base was tired of the owner, and yet, just like that, it's ripped away from them. It's just not right, man.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I noticed that father and son, and I was thinking if you're a kid there, as a kid, when things like this happen, you look to your parents to explain what's going on. And, in that situation, the parents like Bip, I got nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. One really good thing also, another good thing, that we understand that the A's had told players, coaches, both teams, look, you got to get out of there.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get fans, go out and get your little trinket, but the fans stayed, and then the A's obviously stayed. And then we got that incredible speech from Mark Kotsay, including the incredible "Let's Go Oakland" chant.
Yeah,
was that something?
Yeah, that was impressive.
You right, Jay? Yeah. Fellas, Bip got me, man. And I know it wasn't on air, but I have the opportunity to listen to all different channels back here, and we're watching the game. And man, Brody Brazil came out. He brought it back from Dallas Braden, and
remember, Brody not only is this sad, he's just found out he's losing his job
as
well.
This is it. This is the end for him too, which is isn't right, but it's life, I guess. But Bip, man, I looked up and Bip, he had no words.
Yeah.
As you said, he had no words, and he just a long sigh, fellas. He just, as the doctor will say, breathe in and breathe out.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had a long sigh, and I looked up and I said, oh man, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough.
Yeah. Like you said, we knew it was coming, but still you could see that. I think a lot of us, I was one of those people just kind of putting it off.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be okay. And then today it really just hit right on the solar plexus. And it's, as Ken Korak said, we played his comments, it's like, we're still processing this and we may never really process it. And again, I know that Sacramento, again, we got Ramsey in there. Ramsey, as he said yesterday when he joined us, like, this is sad, but we're getting a team here in Sacramento. I know that, but still, and that's nothing against Ramsey. I agree with that. I'm just saying to those who are saying, wait, they're coming here. I know, but this was very, very sad today.
It was. And as I'm watching the coverage, Whitey, it just hit me. I'm looking at not only the players, but their families, their wives and children. And now Sacramento becomes their new home in terms of where they play baseball. Like, are these families having to uproot? Do they have to commute? What if a wife wants to bring her kid to a game? They live, in Oakland, on any given day, or do they have to drive to Sacramento? Like, there's so many different layers of how this impacts not only the fans, but these players' families as well. We're excited, obviously, for the Oakland A's to come to Sac, but this is uprooting a lot of people, changing their lives, concession workers, parking attendants, security, you name it. Like, just like that, it's gone. It's over, and it's not coming back.
Yeah, and more people now are leaving which that has to be sad to acknowledge to yourself, this is done. We got to go. But they just showed a father in the stands with his daughter, and it looked like, he's trying to comfort her, and it looked like, he was having a hard time maintaining his composure himself.
Yeah.
But, sports, one of the reasons we pay all the money, it means a lot to us. And then sometimes I think the people that own it, that dictate the terms, they don't realize sometimes how much it means to us.
They're not in touch
with
the community and what it actually means, the product, it actually means. And you talked about the King situation years ago. Shout out to Kevin Johnson, because he understood, like, no, we cannot lose. This is a part of our fabric of our community. It's more than a basketball team. The Oakland A's, to the city of Oakland and his fans, more than just a baseball team. It's a lifestyle. That's all they've known, and they're showing 1968 to 2024. And I thought Ken Korak did a phenomenal job painting the picture, summing it up. 57 years of, just tremendous memories out there. And look, I mean, they're showing kids and dads, they don't want to leave. They don't want it to end.
Right. Yeah. It gives you a pause when you realize, man, this is an historic franchise. We tend to think of the A's more recently as the little team that, is fighting all these issues, revenue sharing and the small payroll, but they've been that's the cool thing about the Oakland A's. And that's the cool thing about the team that's coming here is the fan base and the fans. It was part of Moneyball, the front office, like Billy Beane. They've overcome all the obstacles caused by the fact that they had owners that didn't want to pay a lot of money. Fans came anyway. Billy Beane came up with Moneyball. The team excelled anyway. That's the cool thing to me about the story of the Oakland A's. Conditions were far from ideal, but people made it happen. People came together and made it happen anyway, on the field and in the stands.
Yeah, and think about the different iterations of Oakland A's baseball as well. You talk about the Moneyball era. We can go back to the Bash Brothers era. We could go back to, Vita Blue and all those guys. Like, they've had so many great Billy Ball, so many great eras of Oakland A's baseball. And they've done it in different ways too, and even as recently as 2017, I think it was the last time they made the playoffs. I mean, it's, and I'm watching fans now, and man, it's like when you leave, you got to turn the lights off, and sure, there will be other events there, new ownership there, but it just won't be the same.
Remember last summer when they had the reverse boycott?
Yes.
And they had 28,000. I don't remember exactly how many. They had a lot. And you remember Rob Manfred said, oh, big deal. They had a big event and they had an average crowd, an average major league crowd. See, they just had no idea.
Right?
They continue to underestimate this fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we talked about earlier, it may not be the largest, it may not be Yankees or Dodgers, but they are passionate. They are loyal to their team as well. And they are proud to be Oakland A's fans. And I don't think Major League Baseball understands what they're doing, not only to the fans, but the community of Oakland right now.
Right.
I mean, this is, we talked about it before. You mentioned how, sports is supposed to be a escapism. Yeah. Now that's gone from Oakland. Like, maybe the A's will be back at some point. You just never know. But, you take away that escapism. Like, I'm looking at the little boy. He can't say, hey, Dad, let's go to an A's game anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's taken away. And as a father, as a guy with kids, a son and a daughter, I couldn't imagine how that would be because, we talk about the Kings. When the Kings schedule came out, my son's super excited. Oh, which games can we go to? Now the youth of Oakland, they are being robbed of that. It hurts, man.
Another thing that reminded me of 13 years ago when we thought the Kings were leaving. I don't know if you remember this, Jay and Drapes. You probably had no way of seeing this, but for that final game on the NBC Sports California telecast, somebody had put together to Tesla's love song, like a video tribute of the Kings history. My understanding, one of the team's broadcasters told me they weren't supposed to air that or do that, because like ownership at the time selling, I guess they didn't want them to do that. They did that. It was incredible. And it reminded me of Mark Kotze, where we know that the players are told, you just, go back to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And instead, they went out there and they started a chant.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I ask you for one more time to start the greatest cheer in baseball.
Let's go, Oakland!
It's just, it's tough, man. And, you know, I see people on the text line being haters and everything like that. You got to understand, this is a way of life for a lot of people. And here's the thing. Now, if Oakland still had, you know, the Warriors were still there, the Raiders, this, and I forgot, was it a caller or was it Jason? I think, you know, somebody mentioned, you know, 3 teams in 5 years, basically, you know, to leave that area. I mean, this is, you know, this has transformed the city. I mean, a lot of times, and we know this here in Sacramento, I know it from growing up in Philly, working in Boston, sports is a great uniter. It's something that, you know, when your team does well, let's say you're the Patriots, let's say you're the Phillies, whoever it may be, and your team does well, win a Super Bowl, win a World Series title, it's a sense of pride for your city. You, whether you're traveling or what, you're wearing your Oakland A's gear with a sense of pride. Think about it like this. And I know it's kind of taboo to bring up this city, talking about the Seattle Sonics, but it's been years since the Sonics left Seattle, and those people are still hurt up there. I was just up there about 3 weeks ago. Those people are still hurt that their Sonics aren't there anymore.
My understanding is people in Brooklyn, and, you know, a lot of them weren't.
Dodgers still?
Yeah, that it still hurts the community. And, you know, a lot of people that were around then aren't necessarily around now because that was 1950, whatever. Yeah. But it leaves a mark.
Yeah, it really does, man. And, you know, I went up to Vancouver, the Vancouver Grizzlies. I still see Vancouver Grizzlies gear up there because it's something that the city and the area really grabs onto and holds onto. And you rip that apart, and it's like, now what do we do? Now who do Oakland A's fans cheer for?
Let's just leave it here for now. We got those comments from Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart says it very eloquently. Then we'll come back. We'll talk a little football. I think we have Henry Turner's coming up top of the hour too, right? Yeah. So here's Dave Stewart today. Somebody tweeted something to him about, you know, you were a great Oakland A. And here was Dave Stewart's response. Maybe you've seen this. He said, I appreciate you, my friend. This day is here. I'll be honest. I don't know what to do with it, how to think. What I feel is hurt. A huge piece of my life is being transplanted to someplace else. This is not your fault, but it sure hurts. I hope it's not the end of our relationship, just our relationship as Oakland Athletics. I love you, Oakland Coliseum, and A's baseball. That's Dave Stewart. We'll take a look at tonight's Thursday night matchup, and what's up with the 49ers today. Next, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Light winds, but still comfortably cool tonight. Valley temperatures will start in the upper 50s on Friday morning. Friday afternoon, highs in the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Shop fall savings at Big O Tires now through October 13th, and buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock tires with installation and alignment purchase on all 4 tires. Offer good on most Saloon tires while supplies last. Disposal fees extra, not good with other offers. See participating Big O Tire dealer for details.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Who's ready for some fun on Saturday? Country in the Park 2 takes over Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Dirk Bentley, Harmony, plus line dancing and a mechanical bull, axe throwing, pop-up clothing stores, and food trucks. Tickets start as low as $52 at CITPfest.com. Grab your family and join us for Country in the Park 2 this Saturday at Heart Health Park. More at CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by A&A Concrete Supply, Folsom Hotel, and Corbell, California Champaign.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Since you probably can't afford your own sports psychologist, Golf Monthly's Fergus Bissett offers 5 golf psychology tips to help you play better. First, stay in the present. If your mind is ahead of you, how can you focus on the shot at hand? Second, every shot is a new challenge. The objective of every shot is to get the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes. Go do it. 3, the past is the past. Many of us dwell on the past. Not good. Clear your mind and move on to the next shot. 4, never surrender. Some give up on their rounds too quickly. Your fortunes on the course can change with one swing or one decent break. Lastly, stay positive on the greens. If you're having one of those days where the putts don't drop, focus on the positives. If you're putting on your intended line, that's a good thing. Keep it up and they'll begin to fall. And remember, it's a game, so go out there and have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Even in a broken Washington, one person delivers results. Our Congressman Kevin Kiley. Working across party lines, Kevin Kiley has helped pass bipartisan bills to lower prices for gas, groceries, and utilities, provide tax relief for the victims of recent wildfires and storms, and to protect Lake Tahoe today and for future generations. Kiley has secured millions of federal dollars to ease traffic on our roads, expand our water supply, and protect our homes and communities from wildfires. And because he believes public safety comes first, Kevin Kiley is working to crack down on repeat offenders, retail thieves, and fentanyl dealers who prey on our youth. Kevin Kiley is always ready to work across party lines to get things done, and never afraid to take on the establishment in Washington or Sacramento when that's what's needed to protect our quality of life. Delivering results. That's Kevin Kiley. Let's keep him working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley, and I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today. Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
That's a solemn day for baseball fans with the A's playing their final game, what looks like their final game in Oakland ever. And A's fans made it a special day. And A's fans, I think, made a statement as only Oakland A's fans can. There very little, there was no violence. There was some misbehavior on the ninth inning, but for the most part, fans came. They celebrated, they cheered. I don't think they've all left yet, but they, quote unquote, behaved very well today.
Yeah. It's, an overwhelming majority, were well behaved, and, you could just tell the emotions of the people in that Coliseum. Had our boy Ramsey just stop in, and he was there yesterday, and just, it's, I was driving in and I'm seeing Oakland A's jerseys just walking around Sacramento, and I'm watching a post-game show. They're doing an interview with Dave Stewart from pregame, and his tweet, you could feel it. And we'll have High Flyer coming up here at the top of the hour, Oakland native, a guy that's, very familiar with the A's and everything. It's just, and everybody's saying, well, guys, just get over it, move on. And, you're landed on too thick. I mean, this is it. This is the story right now. This is happening as we speak. Their final game has just ended, and they deserve all the respect. I'm talking about Oakland A's fans deserve this moment right now.
I would bet you there's more than a couple people there from Sacramento too. Let's not forget that.
Oh yeah.
100%. Sacramento, people in Sacramento have been going to Oakland A's games for a long time.
Yes.
All my life, Whitey.
Yeah, so we're part of that fan base. It's not separate like it's the Bay.
Yeah,
we're Sacramento.
Yeah, you're right. I got friends down there right now. I got friends back on the East Coast who are Oakland A's fans, and they're grappling with it, having a hard time with it. And so this is the topic right now.
Mm-hmm. Real quick football notes. Some good news on the injury front for the Niners. Debo was spotted by reporters participating in the open portion of today's practice. So Debo practicing. George Kittle, as you know, returned to limited practice session yesterday. So there's a little bit of good news. Real quick, though, yesterday, I don't think we talked about this, but when he was talking with the media, Coach Kyle Shanahan was asked, is there any chance Christian McCaffrey doesn't play this year? And his answer was, not that I know of. So it's like, oh, my goodness. I don't know how exactly you're supposed to answer that, but not that I know of is, obviously just says, well, we don't really want to think about that right now. We're not considering that.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing about it too, Whitey, with CMC in this injury, goes to Germany for who knows what. There's a lot of unknowns. Maybe they know and they're not letting us in on it, but it's a lot of open-ended questions, if you will.
Here's interesting. Thank you, Jay, for sharing this. Damon Amendolara.
DA.
We had him on the show,
show.
Yeah.
Our guy.
And he's been pro Oakland A's for a long time now. Last game's attendance. So, and I'm not sure what the circumstances were for all these teams. It's possible in some of these, the fans didn't know it was going to be the last game. Expos, 35,000 fans for their last game in Montreal. I think they did know. St. Louis Browns, 55,000 place capacity was 80,000. Houston Oilers, 15,000. I give the Oilers fans credit. The Oilers wanted to stick around in Houston, and the Oilers fans said, no, you go to Nashville now. We don't want you. The A's today, capacity crowd of 47,000.
Packed out. Jam-packed.
Yeah, he says, no one claims Houston or Cleveland had terrible fan bases. Undeserving of a team. A's fans are there. They were just beaten down for 20 years. By ownership.
By ownership, yeah. It's true, man. It's that's the thing, man. It's not like the fans didn't care or weren't paying attention or were, apathetic about it, Like, it was just the ownership beat them down, like DA said. And fans said, you know what? We are not supporting this owner with our hard-earned dollars. And I get it. I understand it. Because the owner was basically, you know how it is, Whitey. I always say, if I'm a fan, I want my owner to spend whatever it takes. Look at what the Celtics were able to do. The luxury tax, the Warriors historically, that's what you want from your owner. The A's fans had the opposite. Jay sent us a tweet from Danny Vietti. Oakland A's payroll back in 2004, $59.4 million.
That was probably bottom half, but okay.
Yeah, okay. Oakland A's payroll this year, 2024, $62.7 million. So their payroll only went up a couple. Salaries have shot up, though, in the last 20 years. It's ridiculous. The ownership worked against the actual team on the field when you think about it. That's why fans weren't showing up. It wasn't, like DA said, it wasn't that they were a terrible fan base or anything. They just didn't want to support and line this guy's pockets.
Yeah, Steph Curry, when his new extension kicks in, he'll make more in a year than the A's made payroll this year.
Unbelievable. This fan base didn't deserve it. The city didn't deserve it. And, I wonder, if you're an A's fan, as you go forward, as they come to Sacramento for 3 to 4 years or maybe even longer, if they go to Vegas, are you still an A's fan? Because I'll throw this at you. And I'm not saying A's fans got to feel one way or the other. It's up to you. It's your call. But did Raiders fans say, we're done with or did they follow the team historically through all their moves? I'm legitimately asking a question.
I think they followed him for the most
Right.
part. Wouldn't you say, Jay? That's
yeah.
But this is different, right?
Yeah, it's different in the fact that, Mark Davis, the son of Al Davis, I think most Raider fans that I've come across, you ask them, did you follow the Shield, follow the team? And most probably I would say a higher percentage would say yes. I think if you asked Oakland A's fans right now, it's just difficult because of who owns the team. Like as much as, Raider fans have some druthers with Mark Davis towards that they didn't probably have towards Al Davis. I just think it's a little different with John Fisher.
Yeah, one of the most electric crowds I've ever been a part of was actually an exhibition game. It was when the Raiders, they went to LA, then they were talking about coming back to Oakland, and they played a preseason game in Oakland in 89. The Coliseum, that place was
rocking,
waking.
Really?
Yeah, when the Raiders came back, it wasn't like,
right.
you're back. No, it was like, yes. This is where you belong.
It was more like the Raiders situation was strictly business in many forms and fashion. Like Mark Davis legitimately, and we're not counting his pockets, had the least amount of money in any of any NFL owner. And soon as it went to Vegas, now you see he cooking. He's got his Usher sports coat on. He's got something different on his arm now.
And that wasn't their stadium either, right?
No,
he didn't have
he had
ownership in
nothing
the stadium,
over
right?
that, yeah.
He has said that they might still be in Oakland if the owner of the Athletics had cooperated with them on a Coliseum renovation plan.
A deal.
Yeah.
Mark Davis has said that. He said that John Fisher's one of the reasons why
the Raiders are gone too.
Yeah.
San Jose earthquake, he's ruined.
Yeah, MLS,
he's ruined.
Champs, baby, at one time.
So I'll tell you one thing: it's a team with a lot of character that's coming to Sacramento with a manager.
If they keep it,
they have to. Don't they?
If they keep it,
they're too young.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
60. What do we say the payroll was? I mean, how can you?
I hear what you're saying.
Major League Baseball. I know this because the A's have run into this in the past. There's a floor.
Yeah, there's a threshold.
Yeah, you have in some sports, you have a cap or whatever. There's a threshold. I remember one year the A's signed Coco Crisp, and it ended up
to
as
get
like
over
a really
it.
good signing.
Yeah.
They had to do that because their payroll was too low.
$9 million. Yeah.
9 million.
Pay him his chips.
Right.
9 million, baby.
Yeah.
14 on the 2.
Yeah. You remember when the A's 2011, 2012, when he was there and they did the Bernie lean?
Yep.
You remember that?
Yep. Coco Chris Bernie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy stuff there. It's all over today.
Dang, don't say it like that,
I know,
man.
right?
Like it's a ball game.
Have some feeling in that, big fella.
We have to face it. It's like Ken Korak said. That's it. He said, that's it. That's the last game. We're done. The A's aren't done, and we're just opening this new chapter in Sacramento. I have no idea how it's going to go. I don't know what to expect.
Right.
I have reason to be, excited about it, but still, it's like I don't know how it's all going to work.
Right. Do they have the same uniforms, even, or like
they have to? The A's have to be green and gold,
but they're just the A's now,
right?
Not the Oakland or Sacramento A's, just the A's now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Unprecedented, like a lot of this is going to be.
Mm-hmm. We gotta take a break, big fella, don't we?
Yeah, we'll take.
You heard? I'm like he's looking at the clock. It's coming up.
I was looking at Ricky.
Oh, all right. I'm like, we gotta get to a break here.
The high flyer Henry Turner join us next on Sactown Sports.
Silverado savings spectacular now at Maida Chevy with $13,000 off MSRP. Every new Silverado half-ton LTZ in stock after rebates. $12,500 off every Silverado half-ton High Country after rebate, and $11,000 off all new Silverado half-ton RSTs exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters.
Whatever Silverado you choose, you'll save thousands at Maida Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. Ends 9/30/24.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Who's ready for some fun on Saturday? Country in the Park 2 takes over Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Dirks Bentley, Parmalee, plus line dancing and a mechanical bull, axe throwing, pop-up clothing stores, and food trucks. Tickets start as low as $52 at CITPfest.com. Grab your family and join us for Country in the Park 2 this Saturday at Heart Health Park. More at CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by A&A Concrete Supply, Folsom Hotel, and Corval, California, Champaign.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for the power, performance, and reliability of a new Super Start battery. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
I got my together.
I got my together.
You can get your shots together too. Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to Thursday Night Football. It's the Giants and the Cowboys. It's the Drive Guys, and we're just wrapping things up here. The A's finishing up their last game in Oakland, presumably. We heard the last inning here on Sactown Sports. The high flyer Henry Turner is going to join us in just a moment here. We'll get Drapes back in, and we'll be ready to go with the high flyer. Just one more point on the connection between Sacramento and Oakland. Obviously, the A's are coming here next year. Again, presumably. Let's not forget when the River Cats got here, River Cats were a dominant Pacific Coast League team, and they were an affiliate of the Oakland A's. So we got to see a lot of the A's young players come through Sacramento before they went to Oakland. And I know for a fact that the A's were not overly thrilled when the River Cats became the affiliate of the Giants. It wasn't their choice. And the A's, if they had their druthers, they would have kept the River Cats as their affiliate. We got the high flyer for you, Drapes. Here he is, the one and only Henry Turner. How you doing today, Henry?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
Good. What's up? Oaktown's finest, baby. What's happening?
Big Fern.
You miss me, I know. I miss having you on here, man. We got games next week, big fella. Games next week. Or 2 weeks.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it's about to fire up very, very soon, man. I'm excited and I can't wait.
Henry, we just wanted to know how you're feeling today about Oakland saying goodbye to the A's, how that felt, what you thought of it.
I definitely have a different feel, man, because it's kind of heart-wrenching that, grew up, born and raised in Oakland, California. The Oakland A's was a part of my upbringing. That was a big part because I started out playing baseball myself. And then, just recently I went back and I got inducted into the Oakland Hall of Fame. We had me, myself, Brian Shaw, Gary Payton, Jason Kidd. All of us were there getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, man. And we understood that the city we once loved and really admired wasn't the same city because Oakland is losing everything. And when I say everything, everything. Major League Baseball, gone. Major League Football, gone. Basketball, gone. The city, man, is just like, it looks like it's just eroding. So, to lose the baseball team, it really hurts from a standpoint of someone who has been born and raised watching Oakland A's. I'm kind of happy on the consolation that they're coming here.
Sure.
I'm happy for Oakland A's fans to where, at the very least, they can still come see, participate, and root their home team on. They can still do that. It's not like they got to catch a flight to go see the team or anything like that. But for the city of Oakland, man, it's fabulous.
High Flyer Drapes here. Hey, can you just put into perspective, if you will, what the Oakland A's meant to the city? I said earlier, a lot of times you look at, cities that lose their teams, there's not a deep connection. But when a team leaves Oakland, I mean, to have that on your chest, you walk around proud. Even you to this day, even GP, whoever it may be, you're proud to be from the city of Oakland. How does it make you feel, I guess, when you just said it, you're losing these? How do we get Oakland back, I guess?
We was all talking about that, man. We were just there trying to figure out and really try to just toss some things around. I mean, like I said, Oakland has deteriorated so bad. And when you look at professional sports, you say, we understand it's the game, but most importantly, man, it's a business. I understand on the business side. And, for people like myself who have grown up Oakland A's fans, I mean, that was one of the first professional games I attended was the Oakland A's game. To actually go buy a ticket because Raider tickets were tough for us to get. Oakland A's tickets, man, you can get those in a box of cereal. And you will be able to go and watch the Oakland A's. But to see that lead and to see where the city is headed, because it's definitely going down in a downward trajectory, it really hurts, man. And, I really feel for the city. Pro sports is going to be pro sports. The A's will live. The A's will go on. The Raiders will live. The Raiders will go on. Okay. The Warriors are across the bay in Frisco. They will go on. But as far as sports entertainment in Oakland, man, you don't even know if you're going to ever get that back.
Henry, I've been going to A's games since I was very, very little. And one of the things that it wasn't really hitting me that hard, but today one of the things that got to me was watching the pregame, and you had two guys from Oakland, Stu and Ricky, throwing out the first pitch. And that's when I really started to get, to where I was feeling this thing. I just want to know what you think of my Mount Aysmore, my four greatest Oakland A's all time. I got Ricky, I got Reggie Jackson, I got Stu, and I know he's kind of a knucklehead, but I got Jose Canseco on there. What do you think of that? That's my Mount Oakland Aysmore.
It's good, but mine kind of go back. I'm with you with Ricky.
Yeah.
I'm riding with, say, hey, Reggie Jackson. I'm riding with him.
Uh-huh.
I was a pitcher in my day, so I like Vida Blue.
Yes,
I was going to say Vida,
Yes.
Hey, and the most iconic Oakland A's player of all time to me, Raleigh Fingers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Raleigh Fingers. See, I go back, fellas. My first, I would say, authentic anything from a sports player. I remember when the Oakland A's were giving out Sal Bando bats when you walk into the Oakland Arena.
Yeah.
And I kept that bat, man, and I cherished that thing forever. Sal Bando bat.
Yeah.
That goes back.
I had a Campy Campaneris one, Henry.
Wow, that goes back.
Yeah, he's going back.
Goes back.
Hey, high flyer with the
catfish hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim Catfish.
Yes.
With the team coming to Sacramento, does it bring with it its legacy in Oakland, do you think? Or is this a new franchise, a new team? Like, how do you think A's fans will feel about their franchise?
Fellas, I think it's going to be kind of heartfelt, man, because, I mean, as people from Oakland, man, we live and die with our hearts on our sleeve. I know even though the Raiders are still a striving football team, it was a lot of people that was like, when the Raiders went to L.A., they did not mess with the Raiders no more. They burnt their jersey. They were like, no, if you're not an Oakland Raider, you're not a Raider. They hated it. It was a lot of people that was disgusted when the Warriors went over to the Bay Area. I mean, just right over the bridge. Mm-hmm. A lot of Oakland fans were disgusted. They were upset because they felt like this is our team. This is Bay pride. And if you're from the Bay, you know exactly what Bay pride is. It's something that you live and die with. So even though it's only 76 miles down the road, a lot of Oakland A's fans are going to be upset.
Yeah, I was thinking about, what's going to happen next year. And as far as I know, this is unprecedented. Maybe I'm missing something. We've had teams that move, from one area to another. And sometimes their new stadium is not done. So you end up with like the Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. Houston moved to Tennessee. They didn't go to Nashville right away. They were somewhere else, but they were there. They moved to Tennessee. The Arizona Cardinals, they played in Phoenix first, Sun Devil Stadium, before they got the new one in Glendale. But this is weird because the A's aren't going. They're leaving Oakland, but they're not going all the way to Nevada. So it's like, it's kind of like they're in a transitional period. So as far as their heritage, Drapes, to your question, it feels to me like there's just going to be kind of parked and waiting, and it's like everything's kind of up in the air, even if they're here for 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. And, because I think about, you're bringing up other teams moving, if the A's keep the same name, but they're in Vegas, let's say, like, are they, touting their history, and are fans okay with that? Like, when you move to Vegas, it doesn't feel historic. It feels kind of like a new strip mall or something like that, or a new Walmart coming in. It's not the mom and pop feel of it. And I wonder, for A's fans, when they come to Sacramento, are we still, highlighting Ricky Henderson, and how do we feel about that?
I don't know.
Is Dave Stewart still going to be showing up at the game? How do we feel about that?
Yeah. Henry,
I mean,
go ahead.
It almost feels like a new era, man. It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, I go back to when the Sonics left Seattle.
Yes.
How many Sonics fans went with the team, man? Hardly any.
Yeah.
Because they changed the color, they changed the logo, they changed everything. Sonic fans were so inept about keeping their team. It was like, you know what? Y'all can't even take the name. Seattle Sonics. It's going to always be Seattle Supersonics. You can't take the name nowhere else. I mean, and that's how people feel when they get behind their team. Like, no, this is ours.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to leave, you might as well be the Sacramento Bees. You can't be the Oakland A's.
Yeah. Well, I believe before they decided to come here, the A's were talking to Oakland again. And I think that was one of the things that Oakland said is like, you can come here, you can play here in the interim, but you're going to have to leave the name and colors here. Right. I think that's one of the terms.
Name and colors.
Yeah. And the A's didn't want to do that. But I still hope that'd be nice if they did that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What? Like, keep the.
They could be the Las Vegas.
But leave it here. Leave it.
Yeah. Jacks or whatever, but you leave the Oakland.
But let me ask you this, Whitey, and I hear you. Why would you want that? Just in hopes that somebody else will come along and there will be a new franchise again?
Yes.
Because the Sonics are still waiting.
Right.
Sonics are still waiting.
They're close.
Yeah, I hear you.
Isn't that the way to go, Henry?
Hey, I think it's more so when you keep your colors, when you keep your logos, everything in the city, it's one of those things where you keep your tradition.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said, Ricky Henderson and all those guys will always be green and gold. So when the A's go to wherever else they're going to go to and they change the color, okay, that's y'all history. Oakland history stays right here in Oakland. I think it's more so that.
Damn, man, I just can't see Ricky and Smoke and all the great, Zito going to Las Vegas and rolling out the red card. Like, no, I'm not coming out there.
It's tricky. That's one thing I think, seriously, the Kings have done pretty well. They've brought guys like every so often. Nate Archibald came here. Oscar Robertson. They don't do it a lot, but when they did it, it was like classy. It wasn't like stealing something from another city. It was like acknowledging the franchise's past. It's tricky. The Kings have done it well, but it's kind of different in this case.
It's different.
So,
Yeah.
You know what is different, and I can tell you guys why it's different. When the Kings left Kansas City, it wasn't like Kansas City had nothing else. It wasn't like Kansas City was in an economical disparity the way Oakland is right now. The way the city is going, it's almost like they're losing everything. Oakland right now is really abysmal, bro. If you go back there and you look at it, I mean, the last time I was there, I was driving down the street, it almost brought a tear to my eye. I'm like, this is not the city that I grew up in. And more concerning is that, okay, we've gotten to this point, but how in the hell do you turn it around? And can you turn it around?
High Flyer.
Look at Frisco, bro. Every retail store in the Bay is closing down. Everyone.
Let me ask you, High Flyer, because hold up. This is part of a larger issue, because I hear this same narrative about Seattle and Portland. I was up in Seattle. Seattle's thriving, people. Restaurants are open, people are out and about. And what way is Oakland different, from when you grew up? What are you seeing out there?
Hey, it's like this. Seattle still has the Mariners. Seattle still has the Seahawks. They still have something to say, okay, we still have something of our own. Everything has left the Bay, KD. Everything. Warriors, gone. Raiders, gone. They were trying to hold on to the A's, the last little piece that they had. And like I said, and you look at the economic structure around Oakland and how bad it's going down. Put it to you this way, bro. And I hope all the Sacramento fans can understand this. You had an In-N-Out burger, a successful In-N-Out burger in Oakland, and they closed it down. They closed it down because what was going on around it. In-N-Out burgers make money. I don't care where you put them. You put an In-N-Out burger in the desert. It's going to make some money. They closed it down because of what was going around in the surrounding areas. The one right there by the Coliseum, and right there by the airport.
And Starbucks, HT.
Starbucks too left, huh?
Yeah. Hey, shut it down. Hey, I can still Starbucks right now on 47th and Broadway. I can still Starbucks right now. That's how much coffee sells, bro. And they shut it down in Oakland, and they closed down everything. So that's why when you start seeing all the other organizations leaving, and it looks like everybody's just abandoning this city and just letting it go down to the dumps. That's why it's so much more heartfelt than anything else.
All right, High Flyer.
I need to go to Oakland. I gotta make a trip to Oakland, man. I gotta see what's going on in the streets, man.
Hey, I tell you what, that nice pretty Mercedes you got?
Hey, don't High Flyer. I ain't worried about that, big fella. Come on, man. Come on now. High Flyer, this me. Come on now.
You have to be. KD, you have to be. I'm telling you, the city is that bad, bro. Hey, my hand to the man. You have to be. The city is so bad, you could be at a stoplight, bro, and they'll come bust out your windows and snatch your bag while you at a stop sign.
I will tell a quick story. You might be right, High Flyer. I had a guy. Listen to this. My boy Gary Washburn writes for the Boston Globe. He's went to Cal, and so he's used to the Bay. He's at a gas station, filling his car.
And where's this? This is
in Oakland. Somebody comes, pops open his trunk, steals something out of while he's filling his car at the gas station.
That's an everyday occurrence now. That's the new hustle in Oakland. That's what I'm telling you, man. If you go down there, bro, and I'm from the town, I'm known in the town. If you go to Oakland, bro, and you drive in your car that you drive, be very, very careful, and please don't go there at night.
Henry, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
That's tough to hear. Appreciate it. Nah, I hate to hear that, man, because
I do too. That's why it's so despairing.
I gotta get down there. I don't care if I'm in the car or not. That can't be happening, man. It's a proud city. I know so many people from that city that lose it. Like, something got to be done, man. That breaks my heart right now.
Henry, thanks.
I'm with you. I'm with you guys.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, everybody from Oakland that feels that we're with you today. Thank you. The High Flyer, Henry Turner. Pretty soon we'll be talking hoops with
next
the High
week.
Flyer.
Yeah, media day on Monday. Yes.
What?
I'll be quiet, but when he leaves, I'll be talking again.
Hey, you saw something? One of those lists about the League Pass most watchable teams
games. The guy, it's behind a paywall. And so I text the guy, I'm like, or an email, and I'm like, yo, you got to hook your boy up. He's like, that's a great idea, Drapes. I'll get you on. Haven't heard back from him. Oh, so I'll have it for you tomorrow.
All right.
I'll have it for you tomorrow.
When you said it, I thought, the Kings must have done well in that list.
No, they did well, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today. Very unforgettable day in a lot of ways, and we've got maybe an unforgettable game coming up. Dallas Cowboys got a lot of stake tonight, don't they?
Yeah, that's you talk about a must-win. They got to beat the Giants. I know it's a rivalry game and everything like that, but you just lost 2 at home. Now you're going on the road to face the Giants. They're in danger of going 1-3, and in the tough NFC. I know it's still early, but, man, they could be really behind the 8 ball, so it's a must-win tonight.
Yeah, Dak's got a lot to prove.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb's got a lot to prove. Mike McCarthy is, let's face it, they lose to the Giants. His seat could get a little crispy.
And rightfully so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones hangs on to coaches always a little too long, maybe, but, you paid all that money to Dak. CeeDee Lamb, getting taken care of. CeeDee's numbers haven't been that good either. I don't know if you've seen. And he was a holdout guy too, sort of like Brandon Ayuk. And so this is hopefully for them, a get-right game for the Cowboys.
Thank you, Jay. Wonderful job today. We appreciate it. Thanks for being with us. Stick around. We got Thursday Night Football coming up. You got the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys next on Sactown Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Recently, I was at the dealership, and I had to get a look at their Sprinter vans up close and personal. And boy, was I blown away. One of the first things I noticed